YouTubers, Mike Martins here, Mike Martins channel, bringing a very interesting rental housing story landlord question. It's a really interesting story that was sent to me. It's through the Vancouver Sun, and someone sent me this, so I want to read it to you guys. It's a few days old. It's a little bit of an older article, and I'll get to it. I'm still a bit sick. My antibiotics ran out. My 4 days or 5 days of antibiotics has run out, so I'm still kind of not feeling well. My wife is getting really sick now. It's a non-stop. It's just a non-stop thing here. I'm not sure why or how is this happening, but apparently it's affecting a lot of people in the Lower Mainland, and she's really sick. And I might have to take care of the kids tonight, so I might have to cancel Trends in the Housing Market. I could postpone it for Thursday or Friday night, seeing how my wife's feeling. So anyways, I got a really good article here. BC's tight rental market has landlords asking too many personal questions, says report. What kind of questions are they asking? Victoria, some landlords in British Columbia are asking prospective tenant for too many personal information, including credit card details, 3 months worth of bank statements, and inquiring whether applicants were born in Canada, says the Office of the Information and Privacy Commissioner. Acting Commissioner Drew MacArthur said 1.5 million people living in rental housing, representing about 30% of all households in BC, but all vacancy rate is so low across much of the province that landlords are taking advantage of the power imbalance. Of course they are. Why not? That's just the way things work, you know? That's just how people screw people over. Housing is big business in BC. In one estimate, residential tenancy generates a greater direct impact on the GDP than the mining or forestry industries. So remember, I kept saying that housing is one of our big GDP growth, or one of our economy growths. It's not producing stuff. It's not exporting stuff. It's housing. Nationally, the urban centers in the lowest vacancy rates are all in British Columbia, with the province's overall vacancy at rate 1.3%. He said, adding Vancouver's rate to 0.9%. The lowest rate in Abbotsford, Mission, and Kelowna is 0.2%. I think Merritt's like 0%. It's like nothing. MacArthur said his office is investigating whether a new service complies with Personal Information Protection Act in its collection of information about tenants from sources including social media platform, which landlords are not authorized to search. Wow. So, I mean, I guess if you're a Trump supporter, you might get declined or something. No, wow, I can't believe it. In addition, I understand that some of these organizations require prospective tenants to complete behavioral questionnaires to evaluate their character. So, how can you evaluate someone's character to whether or not to know if they pay? The only way to evaluate someone's character to know whether or not they're going to pay you is by pulling their credit report and then pulling a credit inquiry and then finding out how they are when it comes to paying their bills, right? I'm not, you know. Anyways. In addition, I understand that some of these organizations, people require prospective tenants to complete behavioral questionnaires to evaluate their character. Human Rights Code also prevents landlords from asking information about race, religion, and family status, MacArthur said. You also cannot inspect the application's current residence or ask if an applicant may become pregnant in the next 12 months, he said. Landlords are authorized to collect reasonable amount of information, such as references, recent pay stubs, a letter from the employer, or permission to call an employer about income, as well as age for the rental property restrictions to people over 55. MacArthur said his office receives calls daily from anonymous tenants worried about their over collection of their personal information, though many don't file complaints because of the fear of being blacklisted. Wow, that's not good. In another case, a caller said that landlord asked for copies of their child's report cards, he said. What? Why? During this investigation, I heard from tenants seeking luxury accommodation as well as basic housing. I heard from young people and from retirees in urban rural areas. One caller reported a landlord insisted on seeing his T4 slips even though he had already verified his income by providing a letter from his employer. And another person said that a landlord demanded consent to a credit check after an offer to pay the 1 year's rent in advance. Oh my God. A landlord is only authorized to request a consent for credit check where the tenant is not able to provide satisfactory references or employment and income verification, the report says. While it is reasonable to collect a prospective tenant's credit history in the circumstances, it will not be necessary for most tenants. And landlord cannot require every applicant to consent on a credit check. The report is based on a review of 13 tenancies applications, 8 involving for-profit landlords and 5 pertain to non-profit organizations, and found 10 out of 13 landlords collect information that, if used, would contravene the Human Rights Code as well as Personal Information Protection Act. Information requests include birth date, driver's license number, social insurance number, federal tax assessments, whether the applicant speaks English, and the name of the bank and how long they've been a customer there. The report makes 13 recommendations, including the landlords must state clear, specific purpose for collecting personal information. Report cards? Why? Child's report cards? What are they talking about? Yeah, we're going to give you the place. I know you're working hard. You worked 3 jobs just to cover this rent. But I got to see your kid's report card. And your kid's report card is going to highly determine whether or not you're going to get this rental from us. You be grateful that you're getting this rental from us. And you be grateful that you're paying our mortgage down. And you be grateful that you have a place to sleep. And you have a place to sleep so you can work your 3 jobs that you're barely home for. Anyways, guys, what do you guys think about this? Why is this happening? How could this even be happening? But it is happening. Try getting rentals in other places. I've tried to rent a house in some part of Mexico, and man, the questions they ask and the scrutiny you go through just to rent a place for a couple of months. Oh my God. Anyways, comment below. Let me know. Is this even fair? Is this even legal? Okay, I mean legal. I mean nowadays it doesn't even matter. Law doesn't even. Nobody cares. It's just. People are so desperate now to find a place or a good accommodation for them and their families. That's what I keep saying, guys. I believe the city is a scam. I believe living in the big city, paying 3 times the amount to live, I don't think it's worth it. When you could live out in the country and you could, or a small town, then you could actually, hey, I could afford to buy a car now. Hey, car insurance is cheaper out here in the country. Hey, everything just for some reason starts getting cheaper. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Comment below. Is this fair or not? I'll leave a link below to the article if you want to read it yourself.